Ladies and gentlemen, every man or woman who has ever accomplished anything of value has first mastered one thing above all else: focus. The ability to shut out the noise of the world and direct one's energy toward a single, burning desire is the very essence of greatness. You see, the mind is like a lens. Scatter its rays, and you illuminate nothing. Concentrate them, and you ignite fire. The future does not belong to the distracted. It belongs to the deliberate, the ones who wake up with a vision and guard it as if their life depends on it, because in truth it does. Your focus is the architect of your destiny. What you dwell upon you become. The man who focuses on lack will create more of it. The woman who focuses on growth, no matter how slow, will find herself moving mountains. The mind, when fixed on a definite aim, develops the means to attain it. That is no theory, it is law. The world will try to divide your attention, pull you in every direction, and dilute your potential. It will tempt you with distractions dressed as opportunities, but remember this: a distracted man is a defeated man. A scattered effort produces scattered results. Only through concentrated effort can you build something enduring. Whether it is a fortune, a reputation, or a legacy, decide what you want. Burn the picture into your mind. Then guard your focus as you would guard your most precious possession. Do not allow doubt, delay, or diversion to enter. Let your purpose be so strong that no fear can shake it, no failure can stop it, and no opinion can change it. Success is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of focus. It is the daily decision to keep your eyes fixed on the future you are building, even when the present seems dark. It is the discipline to stay the course when others quit. It is the power to say no to what does not serve your vision and yes to what demands your commitment. Your future is not found, it is forged, and it is your focus that holds the hammer. Definiteness of purpose is the foundation upon which all enduring success is built. Without it, even the most talented individuals drift aimlessly, while those with a clear and burning purpose carve their names into the pages of history. When the mind is fixed upon one major aim, it awakens a hidden power within, a force that begins to influence every thought, decision, and action toward the fulfillment of that goal. A man who lacks direction is like a ship without a rudder, tossed about by the winds of circumstance, pulled by the currents of other people's opinions and expectations. He moves, but he does not progress. He expends energy, but he produces no result. Yet when he decides upon a definite purpose and commits to it with intensity, he becomes unstoppable. His thoughts become organized, his time becomes sacred. His mind becomes sharp and selective, filtering out all that is irrelevant to his chosen path. Definiteness of purpose brings clarity where there was once confusion. It draws a line between what matters and what is meaningless. It eliminates hesitation. A man with a purpose does not need to ask what he should do next. His aim directs him. Every opportunity is weighed against his goal. Every relationship, every task, every habit is either a stepping stone or a stumbling block, and he has the wisdom to know the difference. The power of a definite purpose lies not only in the clarity it provides, but also in the emotional energy it releases. When you have something to work toward that ignites your spirit, fatigue becomes irrelevant. Obstacles become teachers, time becomes an ally. You begin to tap into that hidden reservoir of persistence that outlasts disappointment and defeats. The man who knows what he wants is immune to temporary failure because he sees it as a lesson, not a verdict. He learns, he adjusts, he continues. The universe itself seems to bend in favor of those who possess a definite purpose. Why? Because they are rare. Most people never decide, they dabble, they wish, they wait for the perfect time. But the few who declare, "This is what I will achieve," and pursue it with focus and determination, find that people, resources, and ideas begin to align around them. Their purpose acts like a magnet, pulling circumstances into harmony with their intention. Nothing great is ever achieved by accident. The pyramids were not built by wishful thinking. Fortune does not favor the aimless. It rewards the man who chooses a target and moves toward it with unwavering focus. The very act of choosing a definite purpose separates the dreamer from the doer, the thinker from the achiever. It demands courage, yes, but it also offers power, power to act, power to persist, power to rise above mediocrity and shape one's own future with deliberate hands. Once a person determines their definite major purpose, they begin to live with a force that cannot be faked. It shows in their eyes, their tone, their stride. The world notices. More importantly, they notice themselves becoming more than they were, more capable, more confident, more in control of their fate. Controlled attention is the driving force that transforms potential into power. It is the ability to direct your mind, fully and deliberately, toward one central idea, without allowing it to wander into the weeds of distraction. This is not merely a mental habit. It is a discipline, a skill that must be sharpened through conscious effort. Just as a magnifying glass can concentrate sunlight into a beam strong enough to ignite a flame, so too can the human mind, when focused, generate the energy required to produce extraordinary results. The average individual scatters their mental energy across 1,000 minor concerns, none of which receive enough force to move the needle. They start one task, interrupt it for another, follow a new idea before completing the first, and end the day having accomplished nothing of significance. This scattered attention is not harmless. It is the silent killer of achievement. It deceives a person into thinking they are active while they are merely busy. Activity is not progress. Only focused attention leads to advancement. Controlled attention demands the mastery of one's thoughts. The mind, left unchecked, will chase every impulse, every doubt, every fear that passes through it. But when a person learns to command their thoughts, when they learn to silence the noise and hold a single idea in the forefront of their mind, they unlock a higher power. This is the same principle that great inventors, leaders, and builders of empires have used. They held a vision so firmly, so completely, that their very being was aligned with its realization. There is no success without mental concentration. A divided mind produces divided results. The man who tries to chase 2 rabbits catches none. But the one who fixes his gaze on a single goal and drives toward it with persistent focus finds that his mind begins to work in new ways. Ideas emerge seemingly from nowhere. Solutions to problems present themselves. Why? Because he has directed his full attention to that one objective, and the subconscious mind responds with all its hidden power. Controlled attention also protects against the influence of doubt and negativity. When your thoughts are anchored to a purpose and fortified by focus, there is little room for fear to take root. You become less reactive, less influenced by the opinions or failures of others. Your mental energy is no longer wasted defending against distractions. Instead, it is used to build, to create, to move forward. This level of control does not happen by chance. It is cultivated. It is trained. You must be intentional with your time, your thoughts, your environment. Remove what pulls you off course. Eliminate what does not align with your goal. Your future depends on the quality of your attention today. Every great achievement is first a triumph of focus over fragmentation, of discipline over disorder. And once you learn to hold your attention where it matters most, you become the master of your outcomes, the author of your future. Avoiding distractions is not merely a matter of convenience. It is a necessity for the man or woman who intends to build a meaningful future. Distraction is the enemy of progress, the thief of time, the silent destroyer of dreams. It creeps in subtly, wearing the mask of entertainment, of urgency, of harmless delay. But make no mistake, every time you surrender your attention to what does not serve your purpose, you trade your potential for fleeting comfort. In today's world, distractions are not only common, they are engineered. They are designed to steal your focus, to keep your mind jumping from one thought to another, never allowing you to go deep into anything. But no man rises to greatness by living at the surface of his mind. Success is reserved for those who are willing to disconnect from the trivial so they can connect deeply with what matters. Every moment you give to distraction is a moment taken from your future. And if you lose enough moments, you lose the future entirely. The man who allows himself to be ruled by distraction lives in reaction. He becomes a servant to circumstance rather than a master of intention. His energy is diluted, his momentum is broken, his dreams are postponed until they are eventually forgotten, but the one who disciplines himself to ignore the unimportant begins to gather real power. That discipline is not just a habit, it is a declaration. My future matters more than this momentary pleasure or noise. Avoiding distractions does not mean cutting yourself off from the world. It means choosing where you place your value. It means deciding that your vision, your purpose, your time are too valuable to be wasted on things that neither improve you nor move you forward. Distractions do not always appear as obvious temptations. Often they wear the disguise of busy work, of obligations that do not serve your highest aim, of voices that pull you away from your inner drive. To master distraction is to master time. To master time is to master success. The achievers of the world have always been those who could say no when it counted, not just to others, but to themselves. They resist the impulse to indulge in what does not build. They understand that every distraction comes with a cost, and they are not willing to pay it. Their refusal to be diverted becomes their advantage, for while others are entertained, they are engaged. While others are consumed, they are creating. There is no shortcut to greatness, but there is a fast lane, and it begins with eliminating what weakens your focus. If you allow distraction to run your day, it will run your life. But if you take command of your attention, you take command of your results. The future belongs not to the busiest, but to the most disciplined. Not to those who do the most things, but to those who do the right things without interruption. And the man who guards his mind from distraction becomes unstoppable, for nothing can shake the one who knows where he is going and refuses to be pulled away. Persistence through focus is the force that turns desire into reality. It is not enough to want something, and it is not enough to start. The world is full of people who begin with enthusiasm and fade in the face of resistance. What separates the few who succeed from the many who surrender is the ability to hold focus over time, especially when the path becomes difficult, uncertain, or slow. True persistence is not blind repetition. It is focused, intelligent, and relentless pursuit of a definite aim. A man with a focused mind does not quit when results do not appear overnight. He understands that success is often invisible before it becomes inevitable. His focus allows him to keep planting seeds long before he sees a harvest. And that focus feeds his persistence because it keeps his purpose in front of him even when progress is hard to measure. Most people lose heart not because their goals are too hard, but because their attention is too weak. They look away, they get distracted, they forget why they started, but the persistent man never forgets. His focus keeps the vision alive when the results are still buried beneath the surface. There will be times when nothing seems to move forward, when effort feels unrewarded, when doubt whispers its poison into your mind. In those moments, focus becomes your shield. It reminds you of your mission. It blocks out the noise, it silences the critics, especially the one in your own head. You do not need to see the end to take the next step. You only need to stay focused on the reason you began. When your attention remains fixed, your will grows stronger. And will, not luck, is what builds success. Focus allows you to refine your effort. Instead of exhausting yourself in every direction, you channel your energy into what matters most. You adjust your actions, but never your aim. You find better strategies, but you do not abandon the goal. That is the essence of persistence. Not stubbornness, but unwavering clarity, the ability to move forward, learn, adapt, and endure, all while keeping your eyes on the prize. Most people give up because their energy is scattered. They try one thing, then another. They change their goals as often as the wind changes direction, but the one who focuses, truly focuses, discovers an inner force that will not allow him to stop. That force is built through repetition, through discipline, and through the daily decision to remain loyal to the vision no matter what challenges arise. Persistence without focus is wasted motion. Focus without persistence is unrealized potential. But when the two are joined, when a clear purpose is pursued with relentless consistency, there is no obstacle that cannot be overcome. The world eventually moves aside for the man who refuses to look away, the man who chooses to stay the course when others step aside. That man does not need guarantees. His focus becomes his fuel, his persistence becomes his path, and his future becomes the product of his unshakable discipline. Mental discipline is the inner command center from which all great achievements originate. It is the quiet, invisible force that governs your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Without it, focus cannot last, persistence will weaken, and purpose will blur. Mental discipline is what separates those who merely wish from those who do. It is the will to train the mind to obey the demands of the future you are building, not the distractions of the moment you are in. A mind left to wander becomes a servant to habit, emotion, and circumstance. But a mind that is disciplined becomes a tool of creation. It does not flinch under pressure. It does not chase every impulse. It does not sabotage its own progress with doubt, fear, or delay. Discipline gives a man the strength to hold his course when the world tempts him to drift. It is the ability to say not now to what does not serve his goal, and right now to the work that must be done. Mental discipline is not inherited, it is earned. It is forged through repetition, through the small daily choices to think with purpose rather than react out of emotion. It is built in the moments when you want to quit but stay the course. It is trained when you choose study over comfort, focus over entertainment, effort over ease. And every time you choose growth over gratification, your mind grows stronger, more controlled, more capable of carrying the weight of your ambition. No man climbs to success on the strength of desire alone. He must have the mental power to guide that desire into action, and to keep it there when results come slowly. That power is discipline. It is what keeps your mind sharp when others dull theirs with distraction. It is what allows you to stand firm when others fall to fear. When you develop discipline, you no longer wait to feel motivated. You act, because action is no longer optional. It becomes who you are. A disciplined mind does not entertain every thought. It chooses what to believe, what to focus on, and what to reject. It is not swayed by the moods of the day or the noise of the crowd. It lives by principle, not by impulse, and because of this it becomes a powerful force, calm, clear, and unshakable. The disciplined man can endure more, achieve more, and influence more, because he does not waste his mental energy fighting himself. His mind works for him, not against him. Discipline, like a muscle, strengthens with use. The more you train it, the more it trains you, and with it you gain an edge that cannot be seen but can be felt in every result you produce. The disciplined mind is the maker of leaders, the source of sustained success, and the gateway to a future shaped by intention rather than chance. When your mind is under your control, your destiny is no longer a matter of hope. It becomes a matter of time.